Okay, let's play with an image and try to make it work within the context of the product that we're designing for. So as you can see in here, I already have an image picked. I spent a couple of minutes on this one is from Freepik, but again, there's lots of places that you might go to find a great image. On the left side, I've added a couple of bullet points that I'm kind of subconsciously thinking about when I'm picking images. So would it be aligned with the brand? Does it communicate the right message? Is the lighting on the image good or bad? Like, does the photo look professional or not? I'm gonna explain the rule of thirds in a minute, so don't worry about that. Does it allow the text to go over it if it's gonna be needed? So when I'm thinking of the context of a header, I do think that text is most likely going to go over it. Does it direct the eye? Does it signal motion? Is the background undistracting? So like a lot of these things, and your photo in no shape or form should or must be okay with all of these checkboxes that we can put on a great visual. So you don't have to follow all of these, but if at least a few of them are satisfied, you know that you're on the right track and that you have a great image that you can use. So I've created a mock like header section for some kind of a playful brand for pets. Maybe it's like dog treats or something. I just use the logo Ipsum. It's a website that you can kind of drag logos from when you're just using them for play projects. Created the simple header. As you can see, once I picked the logo, it looked really bubbly and playful, which I felt was gonna work really well for something that's connected with dogs. So I went and made all of the elements on this page playful as well. So if we have a photo like this, which I do think works well with what the brand is, it does communicate like a happy pet, which is something that we want our customers to see. Lighting great, it's outside, in nature, all of those things are really great. This photo, it allows for text on this side or on this side as well because it's really centered. So if we kind of crop it in the right way, and cropping is really crucial when you're working with photos, if we crop it in the right way, we do have enough space for the text. Since I do envision this like a full width header on the homepage, it does direct the eye in some sense. You see that this dog is looking at something in here, most likely. So you can maybe have the puppy look at a particular button or something, or like really important text. The background is not distracting, it's even blurred a little bit. So all of those things are really great. I'm just gonna copy this image and let's go in here. I'll paste it over everything for now and put it here somewhere in the background section. Oh, why did it move? And here, perfect. Maybe even below this. Yeah, okay, so you can see that already it does look like it's gonna work. I am going to make it a little bit smaller. I do think that this is too big for what we needed. And since the image, it seems like this dog is looking at the button, which is a plus. So one way that we could do it is maybe work with something like this, where the dog is looking at the button directly, shop now, perfect. Or we can also flip the image. It's not going to work for all of the images, especially if it's like location based or something. It's going to be really noticeable. And with people, sometimes it's noticeable, but with dogs like this, I don't think it's going to be as noticeable as it can be. So maybe I'll just make it so that the dog is looking at the text, because the text is on the left side. I kind of want to shift that focus for the main part of the visual to be on the right side. And if I do that, then it means that I need to flip it. Otherwise, it's going to be a little bit weird if the dog is looking at something else. So I think we can crop it like this. And of course, you can use the crop option in Figma as well to crop your images. I'm still not sure if that's gonna be the way I'm gonna keep it, so for now I'm just leaving it like that. And when it comes to the header sections and visuals, I'm always gonna put them in a frame that's gonna be dev ready for exporting. So right now it's just an image in here that I'm kind of using. So one other thing that you're gonna notice, this text is gonna work well and it's gonna be legible because it has some kind of a dark blurred background in here, so that's great. But what do we do with this section? Because it doesn't have that. One thing that you can always do when it comes to working with images is you can create some kind of a gradient that's gonna fill in that background a little bit. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna place this right here below it and put it as black. So one thing that you can do is just like add a background to it, and maybe the image is just gonna be on one part of it, but I don't think it's gonna work really well for this brand. I might play around with it and end up liking it, but I'm just gonna go over a couple of examples that you can use to really modify your image so it works with a brand and with a section that you're working on and so on. So my initial thought was to use a linear gradient like this, order it like this, so it kind of goes from black to white, and that kind of makes the text a little bit more legible. But on the other hand, black is not really working well with this brand, so I would probably make it like 50 or 60% or something, and now it's a little bit less obvious, but honestly in UI that's sometimes even better. Another thing that you might do is, instead of a linear gradient like this, you might just add an overlay over the photo and kind of make the whole photo a little bit darker. Again, not something that I see working with this image, but I just want to share it with you because in some other places it might look and work well. So if we're liking this gradient, maybe it's better if we just kind of make it fade a little bit more, but then the main part of the image is becoming darker and darker, which is not something that we want to do. So I want to show you another tip that we can do. In here we can use our remove background. It's a website as well, so you can go over there, upload this image, and it's gonna kind of remove the background for you. But you can see that I'm now running the remove background plugin, and hopefully it's gonna do it soon. But the idea behind it is it finds the most important element on the photo, or more of them if there are more, and it removes all of the unnecessary details. Now why I'm doing it is to give you a sense of everything that we can do with a visual on the page. So again, we're not limited to rectangular boxes where the image is. We can even crop it and have a PNG of the dog just being the main element of everything. Okay, so it's finally complete. In here you can see that this corgi is now removed fully from the background of this photo. Maybe not fully, there are still some places where it's not working as expected, but overall the AI is getting better, and if it's not working for you on a particular photo, you can always go into using the pen tool to kind of mask some shapes outside, or if you know how to use Photoshop or some other tools like that, you can use them also to remove the background. So we have this in here, and what I want to show you is I'm going to duplicate this photo, place it over the little gradient effect that we made. Since it's the same photo, it has the same dimensions, I'm just going to copy the fill and go in here and replace it. So what we got with that is you can see that the photo of the part where there's the corgi is kind of going over the gradient effect that we have in the background, and it's making it stand out a lot more. You can use it so you remove like the entire background as well. So something like this, and we just have the photo of the corgi. So that's one way to use it. Another way to use it would be to maybe add some overlapping elements to give the whole image a sense of depth, like this. Maybe make it white or something to work better with with a photo, well, now it looks kind of cropped. Or we can use the effect that we have in here to blur the background further on that one particular part. So as you can see, we can really play around with the effects that we have in here. Another great thing about this is then we can use the entire photo in the background and add additional blur to it like this, or a little more subtle like this. So it's working even better and the text is even more legible because of it. So you can really take advantage of removing background elements like this and making the whole visual a little bit more interesting by doing so. So as you can see in here, we've now removed the background. I don't think that something like a texture or a pattern would work well in here. Maybe there can be some kind of a paw or something that we add behind it, behind this puppy. But yeah, overall, I'm unsure if it's going to work well with a visual like this. We're definitely thinking outside of the box in a sense, because we've removed this from that rectangular shape and all of the other things we already discussed. So just a couple of bullet points that you can have when you're thinking about visuals and how to create the best experience around it.